Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life with Anita. Thank you guys for joining the podcast tonight. We are going to have our amazing guest, author Stephanie M. Seaton. She is an author and a publisher. And tonight you are going to get to know about this amazing woman. I'm going to bring her on to introduce herself, and we are going to learn some more about her tonight.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I am so happy to be here tonight, Miss Anita.
Now, author Stephanie M. Seaton.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
people hear your name and they just think you are an author. They don't know that you are also an amazing publisher. So, would you like to introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about you?
Okay. Well, the basis of everything on my platform is actually ministry. So I began as a minister back in 2010. I got my license in ministry, and I started a women's nonprofit ministry back in 2015. Started out actually as a children's pastor, then moved into women's ministry. And back in 2023, right at the summer of 2023, I started an authorship, and I wrote my very first book, The Woman at the Well, not knowing that the Lord was opening up another avenue of ministry through books. Um, and in the publishing process, I actually almost got swindled by two publishers. And so, what looked like something that was a setup from the enemy turned out to be a blessing from the Lord, Miss Anita, because I ended up having to escalate the publishing process and figure out how to publish my own book within 3 days.
Wow.
And through the guidance of the Holy Spirit, I was able to learn the wrong way and the right way of how to publish my very first book, The Woman at the Well. But it all goes back to the Lord had a plan. So it was meant for that to happen, because that is how my publishing company now developed. I continue to be able to write books and publish for myself, but the Lord showed me it was also a ministry to be able to help other people to tell their stories. And then, of course, being blessed with the podcast as well. And so, um, I just always say, Anita, God has a much bigger plan for you than you have for yourself. I've been in dental for almost, 18 years now, managing dental properties and looking at teeth all day. And I had no idea that I was going to be moving into publishing, into writing, nor doing podcasting. But the plan that God has for us is always better, and this is my passion. I'm literally obsessed with this, and it just brings me so much happiness. It doesn't even feel like work. So I'm also a mother. That is like my why. My why are my two boys. I have a 29-year-old son and a 9-year-old son. They are 20 years apart. But hey, I think that the Lord said, "Hey, she is not going to be lonely." And I just enjoy people. I enjoy just making connections with people, helping where I can. And that's kind of what my driving force is, my boys in ministry.
Okay. Now, as you being an author, how many books to current date have you actually became a author of?
Um, I think within the last year and a half, I have published, well, for myself, let me say for myself, I have published maybe 12 or 13 books. For
Wow.
clients, I have published about 7 books for clients. I have published about 7 books for clients. And I thank God I currently have about 6 clients that we're working on, including yourself, who will be published before this month is over. And so it's been really a blessing, Miss Anita. It's been a blessing.
And now I have known you now for quite a while. And when I tell you the energy, just the great person you are, the way that you are so spiritual and how you uplift others without even knowing it, um, it is just amazing to know you. I'm gonna try not to cry.
Hey, they don't even know. We done had a whole session
Yeah.
before before the camera started rolling. We have had a whole session. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Well.
just to see how when you get people like us who don't even understand what it is to be an author yet, we don't know about publishing, and you are so patient and informative, and it's kind of like you adopt us and we're under your wing, and you go with us through the whole process. And it's such a dynamic process that makes you feel like, wow, I can do this. And so I just love what your publishing company does for authors who a lot of us have never been authors before. And you make the process something that it's a lifetime thing that you can't put a price on that. So I thank you for me being one of the people that you allowed to get out what I needed to and write my book and work with you, because it has truly been amazing.
Oh, Anita, I love you. First of all, I love you, Anita. And I know what it's like not to have a support system. I know what that's like. And I just truly believe that the Lord healed me, delivered me, um, and transformed my life because I'm supposed to be a blessing. I have not forgot where I came from. I will never forget where I came from. And because of that, I like to see people live their best life. As you say, I want people to be whole. And I know how much passion and therapy, we were talking about that a few minutes ago. It saved me $70 every 2 weeks from going to see a therapist when I started writing. I've been spending $70 every 2 weeks for a session. And so being able to put my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions on paper, knowing that it's going to bless somebody, even the tough parts, like we were talking about, some of it is tough to talk about. But
Yes.
once you get it on paper, the feeling that you feel, it's like it's just lifted off of you. Is that kind of how you would describe it?
Yes, I would
Yeah.
say writing it is therapeutic.
Yeah.
Even those moments you have where you got to stop and just be like, "Whoa, I had
Yeah.
to talk about that again,"
Yeah.
and you may find yourself bawling, crying, but the therapeuticness of it all, and after you get over that hump, is what is going to be a story of a lifetime, because
Yeah.
the impact it's going to make.
Yeah, I think that's what it's about. I think that we meet people because we're supposed to pour into each other and be a blessing. We're not supposed to be in competition with each other. When we're all supposed to be on a mission to be a blessing, I just think we're supposed to partner together, collaborate, and do that. And so I just thank God for who He is in my life, that He has given me just the heart to want to help people. Again, I haven't forgot where I came from. And I
Mhm.
remember looking around and having nobody, Anita. And
Yes,
so I just don't want other people to have that feeling, especially if I'm sitting on this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And so
yes,
that's what I have in my head when I take on a project and someone tells me their story and I'm sharing that bonding experience with them. The only thing going through my mind is we got to make this happen. And I got you. That's all I'm thinking is like, we're going to make this happen. If you got to write this 20 times, we're going to make this happen.
yes. Yeah.
I had Anita. I had one of the authors that I just published a couple weeks ago. Arthur
Mhm.
Malondo C. Fields. He was at my literary festival here in Tyler at the library, and
Mhm.
in his speech he says, "She got on my nerves." He said she got on my nerves. She had me keep on writing it over and over. But he was saying he's grateful that that it happened, but it wasn't an easy thing because you have to relive it. And
Yes.
you do have to relive live it, but we're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right, and it's gonna be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Miss Stephanie, I was one of the contestants in your book pitch competition.
Yay.
And also, and also Michaela, who she is now like my little sister, y'all. So that was a
Yeah.
connection that you made by having both of us as contestants. And I thank you for that. That was dynamic
No,
too.
I take no credit for that, Anita. Everything is a God thing. He
Yeah.
just uses us as vessels. I take no credit for the way that things are happening. I'm truly blinking my eyes every day, waking up saying, Lord, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
I take no credit for how he orchestrates things and brings relationships together. I truly believe that he just uses some of us to draw people together. And as I look at you, as I look at Michaela, as I look at Candy, as I look at Amaya, all the young ladies that the Lord has put in my circle most recently,
Mhm.
you all have came together and formed LaRonda, Elena. It's like all of you have just joined together and become this. I call it my inner circle.
Mhm.
I didn't have an inner circle. It's been just Stephanie and Jesus a long time. And so I'm so blessed now that the way he's orchestrated this thing, that I now have what I call an inner circle. I have you ladies that I do kind of feel like y'all my daughters. I mean, I don't know if I'm even older than all of y'all, but I just kind of feel in my head that in a sense y'all are my daughters, and I just want y'all to be good,
Yes.
and so I'm grateful for the relationships and just the circle of knowing that you can be open and transparent with people and just feel like you're not by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you did the book, your first book competition. Now, what was that like? What made you want to do it? And do you plan on doing some in the future?
Yes. So that was my very first time. Again, I think it goes back to ministry. In my mind, I just wanted to be a blessing to somebody. I had no idea it was going to be to somebody. But I just wanted to be a blessing to somebody. And when I heard you and Michaela's stories, I mean, in my mind, it was already hands down, it was a done deal. But the judges were the ones to do the voting. But even when the judges got choked up and were about to cry, I was like, okay, the Holy Spirit has walked on the scene. It was just hands down. It was going to be both of you because you both had such powerful pitches and you could just feel the emotion, and the desire to want to tell your stories. And so I do have a pitch competition coming up. I've actually partnered with a private charter school in Plano, and I will be doing my second pitch competition. It is a all girls charter school in Plano, and we will be doing that on the 23rd. It's on a Wednesday evening on the 23rd. And there's three different groups of young ladies based on age groups. And so they are currently writing stories.
Wow.
And their leader will be sending those, Miss Ferguson, Miss Cynthia Ferguson. She and I are collaborating together. So they will be sending in their stories. And when I go on the 23rd, I will be announcing three winners of ebooks. And so I will publish an ebook for one girl from each grade level. And so I just, like I said, I just want to be a blessing. And I know that this can be life changing if it's worked the right way. And I'm actually going to be teaching some classes soon, Anita. Like, so many people, okay, we got the book. Now what's next?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be doing a workshop coming up here soon that says, okay, now I'm published. Now what? Because we don't want to just write a book and just sit on it. You have to turn that book into multiple streams of income. And so I'm going to be doing a course on that. So that's what I have coming up. I'm going to be doing a course on that. And I got several events coming up in the city. And you are going to be at my domestic violence event. You're going to be speaking, and I could not let you not tell your story for an event like that. And so I'm excited that you're going to be there. And yeah, I mean, I try to stay busy. I try to stay busy.
Well, I have seen you are doing a lot of events, a lot of things to make impacts in people's life, and you are more appreciated than what you know. Just the way you are allowing people to freely express themselves, no matter what their story is. That's hard, but you really say, listen, I got you. I'm here. I'm supportive. We're going to get through this no matter how hard your story is. And I think that's so important. And wow. See, Miss Stephanie, I'm trying not to cry because I done been going through this too in my book. And you have just, I'm like, Miss Stephanie has officially adopted me through this process.
When I tell people I have them, I really do have them. I
Yeah.
think the sad part about that, Anita, is a lot of times people say words like that, but they don't got you. They say I got you, but they don't got you. And I think when you've been through some stuff like you've been through, some stuff like I've been through, when we tell somebody I got you, we really got them,
Yeah.
and I think some people should not use those words when you don't know what that really means. But
Yes.
when we say I got you, we know what it's, and it's probably not proper English what I'm about to say, but we know what it feels like to not be gotten, for somebody to not have your back. And so I just think that's very important. And when you bond with somebody, their heart, when you bond with somebody's heart, it's just something that the Lord allows you to feel. I guess it's just a spirit of discernment. But when I met you, I was just like, it's something about her. And like we
Mhm.
were saying a few minutes ago, that was before the idea about the book. That was just us meeting,
Yes.
and me just checking on you, trying to see how you were and what you were going through. And so, yeah, we just connected, and the Lord just grew that friendship. So I'm very happy about that.
Now, as you being a publisher, um, how did that process become where you were like, okay, I'm an author, so now I want to publish other people as well? How did that happen? And what are like your future plans for you being a publisher?
So it came about because I literally was working on my own stuff, but then I started thinking about um, my future, and my future is, like I said, I've been in the dentistry field for 18 years, almost 19 years, and at some point it's going to be a transition. And I was thinking, what would I enjoy doing? And I love writing. I love publishing. It's just something magical about it. And then I thought, why don't I help other people make this happen as well? Because it's also profitable for me.
Mm,
So I've got to be able to take care of my children. And
yes.
so I began to think to myself, okay, well, I already know how to do publishing because I had to learn it. And then it just started to make sense that I should be publishing for other people. So I went into it with the heart still for ministry, though, because I don't set my prices like I could set my prices, because it is a passion for me and it is ministry, and I want to make it affordable, for people to be able to tell their story. It's like I don't want somebody to really need to get their story told and they can't because of a dollar. you
Yeah.
know that would be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And so I try to work with people to make sure that, hey, do we need to stretch it to 6 months so you can make that happen, because I need you to tell this story. And I think the Lord just blesses it because I do give it back to him. um, and so I just, like I said, it just brings me joy to be able to tell my story and to be able to help other people. In the future, I will continue to publish. I will, it's expanding, it's growing. And so, yeah, I'm getting to the point, me and Miss Amaya stay pretty busy. I brought on Miss Amaya Carter as my assistant 2 or 3 months ago now,
Hmm.
and she will tell you we stay pretty busy. I also still work full time in the dentist office, and so except for on Fridays, I work Monday through Thursday in a dental office, and so I have went Friday, Saturday, Sunday into my personal publishing business and everything. But we stay busy, Miss Anita. Yeah.
Now, what advice would you have for somebody who's like, I want to be an author, I don't know where to start, what do I do? What would
Yeah.
your advice be for somebody?
I'm going to be a little biased with that answer, but what I say is contact author Stephanie M. Seaton, because this Saturday at 10 o'clock, I have a free writing workshop. And I do a workshop once a month. It is a free workshop. In that workshop, I go from A to Z about the publishing process, helping you figure out who's your target audience, what is your why. Are you wanting to write because you want to inspire? Like, what's your plan? And we talk about all of that in the writing workshop. And so I would say definitely contact author Stephanie M. Seaton. Just let her know that you are serious, because I don't take on every client that comes to me. I have to know that you're actually serious and you're going to, make an investment in my time. And so once I see that someone is serious, your heart is in it, you got passion, then I do offer publishing contracts, and, we get started and we get to work. And I also offer afterpay to help people that may have a little bit of financial issues. So if you, I just want someone to be more committed than I am. If I'm 100% on your project and you 20, it's not going to work out. Yeah, it's not going to work out.
Yes. And I will say from my own personal experience with you, like from beginning until now, like you are very involved. You make sure that you're always giving some kind of positive reinforcement. You make sure that the environment is what it needs to be to help us to express what we need and put our books together. Um, wow. I have never
Leah,
met somebody.
stop trying to make me mushy, girl. Don't try to make me
She helped
mushy.
me. Listen, you done helped me heal. I ain't even gotta spend all that money no more. I'm gonna spend on a counselor. I said I should just came to Miss Stephanie a long time ago.
Hey, it's all in God's timing, but you over here trying to make me mushy. I'm trying to keep my makeup together. I'm trying to keep my makeup together. You making me get mushy.
And it
But
was
go
you
ahead.
are inspiring though. I'm so serious, Miss Stephanie. You are very inspiring because what a lot of people don't know is when I did my pitch competition with you, I was in the shelter, a domestic violence shelter after going through domestic violence. And it was because I was talking to you and the conversation that you were having through this publishing process that kept me going and kept me, no matter what my circumstances was, it was talking to you that kept pushing me to write and get my book done. And whew, it was just, I believe God put you in my life because to know you has been amazing. And you really changed my life with being able to publish a book for me to be able to get my story out. So thank you.
You're welcome, Leah. And girl, I you are a blessing to me. You are one of the examples of why I had to get my life together, because the Lord let me know there are people who need to hear my testimony. There are people depending on me to get it right. And when I met you, when I met so many other women, and you say the things like you just said to me, because I don't necessarily feel that way all the time about myself. Okay. So when you say things like that, it just, it confirms that, okay, Lord, you got me. Like, I'm doing what you want me to do. Because I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard to be pleasing to the Lord with my life. And I'm just, um, I'm humbled for you to say that, to express that to me, because sometimes it's tough to show up. Because sometimes, Anita, I don't want to show up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I um, but I thank you so much for your words tonight, because I've had some tough days and some tough nights, And just hearing what you have just said to me, you have blessed me so much that I know I got to keep going, you know. And I just want you to know I love you, woman. I love you. I respect you.
I
And
love
I'm
you.
so proud of you. I am so proud of you that you have been so brave because, you know, I don't know if people know, but the very first interview that we did, you had this person in your face watching every word that you said. You couldn't even talk to me, and I didn't even know it at the time. But God
Yes.
had a plan, and He turned that situation around. And I've just tried to be there for you the best that I can. And there have been times where I felt like my hands were tied, but
Hmm.
I just thank God for covering you and keeping you, and you know, and just seeing you through this thing. But just know that you are a very special woman to me. And I admire you so much for your bravery. And this book, as I am reading this book and editing and going through this book, listen, people, you have no idea what this woman has been through. And this story is so powerful that she is able to talk about it, that she is in her right mind to even be telling you guys what she has been through, and she made it to the other side. Ooh,
Yeah.
that is the thing. She has made it to the other side because this person told her she would never write the book,
Mm.
but the blood of Jesus. I am so happy. She not only is writing the book, that book is going to be published. And so I am just so grateful for you, Miss Anita, again. And I'm trying to keep it together, girl. Um, okay, ask me something else.
Okay. Now, now, Miss Stephanie, you do a lot, and I really believe that God sent you to help people to heal. God put you in people's lives to help them. Because I never knew before I even started writing the book how therapeutic that would be. And you were talking to me about that and encouraging me, and I didn't know. But as you doing everything that you do, how do you juggle that? How do you balance everything in life? How is that for you?
um, I talk to the Lord every day, all day, um,
Mm,
because I want to be in His will. I don't want to just do stuff. I want to do stuff with purpose and with meaning. Um, my assistant, Amaya, is a godsend. She has came on the scene. She has picked my brain. She understands my heart. She understands my vision, and she helps me so much. She's amazing. And my son, my oldest son and my youngest son, I am thankful for both of them, you know, pushing me. And my youngest son, you know, at 9, he's like, "You can do this. You got this." He encourages me, and my oldest son, you know, they push me, and just knowing how I want them to see me, that's my motivation every day. But I pray a lot. I do. I pray every day throughout the day. I talk to the Lord just like I'm talking to you, because you know that crazy girl that used to be in my head, like we wrote about in the book. You know, sometimes she still try to show up, Anita, and I had to tell her no, no,
yes.
no. You know, she still try to show up every once in a while and get me off track. But I have to pray no distractions. I'm on a mission, and no distractions. And you know, I love people. I give. I do things, but I've also learned how to cut people off.
Mhm.
I've also learned how to protect my peace, how to set boundaries with people, and that has brought peace into my life. because, when we've been through trauma and abuse, we don't know about boundaries and telling people no without feeling guilty.
Yes.
So through my healing process, I have learned how to say no and not give an explanation. I
Hmm.
have learned how to set boundaries. I've learned not to answer phone calls that I don't want to answer,
Yes.
and those things help protect my peace. And so that's how I get through the process, by my relationship with the Lord, my kids, the wonderful, amazing women that the Lord has brought into my inner circle, that reach out to me, text me, call me. And the Lord has sent some amazing mentors into my life. Most recently, Mr. Michael Gwynn has become a mentor to me, and he is just helping me to push me to the next level. And you just don't really find that often. People usually want a price tag, or they have
Yes.
some kind of hidden agendas. And there's just been the Doc Bookshop. Those ladies are amazing. The Lord has just given me so many amazing people that have came in my life and just been a blessing. And so as he continues to bless me, I have to be a blessing to other people. That's what it's about.
Now, your youngest son just became an
Yeah.
author, and I'm
Yeah.
actually going to
Yes.
buy his book for my niece and my youngest son to read. And so, how was that process? How did that go? And what inspired him to become an author?
So, about 6 months ago, we went to an event. I had previously written two books to him. One of them called Isaiah Learns to Donate,
Hmm.
and just donating to charity is something I've taught both of my boys since they were young. And then the other one was The Adventures of Isaiah, because he has a very big imagination. But I wrote those books like to him as a memoir. But about 6 months ago, I let him sell the books himself at an event, and I let him keep the money. And so I told him, if you sell these books, you can keep the money. And he took autograph. He signed his autograph. He took pictures with people. So I wanted to see if he would enjoy that, and he did. If anybody is on my Facebook page, the pictures that you see of him flashing the money, that's the night. That's the night that he sold the books and he made the money. And so most of the time when he goes to the events with me, Anita, he is not happy about it. It's boring for him. And so he's just like, is it time to go? Well. And so I said, okay, I got to do something about this. And so I asked him, do you want to write a book of your own? And so when you write the book, you can sell your books while I'm selling my books. And he was like, I can make the money. And I said, you can make the money. And I said, we'll write the book about whatever you want. And so literally, we were in my office, and he laid back and he went to talking and I went to recording. And he created this whole story and he came up with all these characters. And it was about 2 hours. He was just going. And I was just like, okay. And then he came up with her Dr. Schnitzel Titzler or something is the guy's name. And I was just like, how am I going to spell that? But yeah, and so I took that and I ghost wrote a book for him. I took his ideas, his narratives, and we just published a book this past week on the 1st. And then he just did his interview the other day. Me and him and my older son, we interviewed him, and I didn't know what to expect because he already told us, Miss Anita, we can only have a 10-minute interview. He said only 10 minutes. So I did not know what to expect. And so I think we had him on for about 15 minutes, maybe almost 20. And then he kind of gave me a look like things gonna switch if you don't turn this camera off. So yeah, we did a very short interview, one of the shortest interviews in my history. Yeah, so he's loving it. He sold some books last week at the literary festival here in Tyler. He sold 5 books, and so he blew that money so fast. He was excited, but my desire was to start generational wealth, to build businesses for my kids, and to start it now. By the time he's 18, he will have his own company, that will transfer to him. and he can decide to do whatever he wants to do, go to college or whatever he wants to do, but he will still have that business already established. And in the meantime, he's going to be making some extra money because I just think we have to start early, Anita, teaching our kids work
Yes.
ethics. Yeah.
Yes.
And so, and he has a whole library in his room of books, but none of them that he wrote. And so I think that's what changed the trajectory of everything is him actually having one now in that room that he wrote himself. It says Isaiah C. Haggerty on it. So very excited for him.
Now, see, Miss Stephanie, now I am a mother of a lot of kids. I got like a little football team going.
Nothing wrong with that.
But it was so, I remember when I told my kids I was getting ready to write a book,
Hmm.
and my youngest said, Mommy, who's going to write the book for you? And I said, I'm going to write it. I said, but I have somebody who's going to publish it. He
Hmm.
said, well, are you going to talk about the monster that kept you away from me?
Jesus.
And I was like, oh my God. And my son, I didn't know he could even comprehend everything. He said, Mommy, I know a monster kept you away. He said, so when you go to the lady about your book and you write your book, you make sure you tell her that there was a mean monster that kept you away from me. And I just like broke in tears. Like I could not take that. And so that also pushed me to really write my book because I also got feedback from my kids in the process.
Yeah.
And I just had to make that impact in my book.
Is that how you came up with the title of your book?
I actually had it before he said that.
Okay.
And he didn't even know that I was thinking that. And when he had the conversation with me, I was like, oh my God. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Um, but that just shows
Yeah.
how, even though we were at a distance, my kids
Yeah.
still were thinking exactly what I was.
And that was confirmation that that was supposed to be in the title of your book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Miss Stephanie, as we get ready to end the show, if you want to tell people how to contact you, the events you have coming up, and just let them know ways to connect with you.
You can reach me on Facebook, author Stephanie M. Seaton. My email, if you want to schedule a consultation for writing or find out more information, is Stephanie M. Seaton, the author, at gmail.com. My podcast is on the YouTube channel, the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. It is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30. And I have Healing, Empowerment, Transformation, Diamonds in the Rough page, which is my main ministry group on Facebook. And so, definitely reach out to me if you would like to write and tell your story. I always say write and tell your story in 90 days. It doesn't have to be 90 days, but I definitely want to help you to tell your story if that is what you would like to do. And then, of course, I'm always looking for guests to podcast. So definitely reach out to me so we can connect.
And now, do you have any events that you would like to tell people about to come and attend or anything?
Yes, ma'am. So next, I think it's 2 weeks from now, on the 26th, which Saturday the 26th, I will be speaking, and it's on Facebook. I can't. Sad, I can't remember the name of the church right now, but on the 26th, I will be speaking at an event in Hurst, Texas. The name of the event is At the Well Experience, and I will actually be speaking there and actually talking about my book. My very first book is The Woman at the Well, and the event is called At the Well Experience. And so it is going to be an amazing opportunity for me to minister to women. The basis of that is about no matter what you've done, what you think about doing, or whatever else, the Lord always has an ordained moment for all of us, men and women. And when we just need one encounter with Him, one encounter with Him can change our lives. And, all the people were talking about the woman at the well and her reputation and the stuff she had done, Anita. But yet Jesus went out of His way. He went out of His way to come and talk to her and change her life. And so I'm excited about that on the 26th. And then the next day on the 27th at the Doc Bookshop in Fort Worth, Texas, it will be a domestic violence event tied in with my new anthology. 13 other women and myself wrote this book called The Crazy Girl in My Head Has to Go. And that is the crazy girl that sabotaged that makes you do all the crazy stuff, because she's broken. And so we all wrote stories. And Anita, there's Black women, white women, Hispanic women, and we all still had similar stories. So that
Mm-hmm.
just goes to show that trauma and abuse and things of this sort, it doesn't have a color on it. It doesn't have male or female. It is what it is, and we all need to heal from it so that we can be the people that the Lord called us to be. And so that's going on the 26th and the 27th. And then I think the school event is a private event that I'll be doing on the 23rd with the academy. But lots of things coming up. Please just follow so you can keep up and definitely come out and support. I would love to see some smiling faces. Come out and show your support. And you know what? Can I say this, Anita?
Yes.
People think in order to support that you have to buy all the time. Show up and smile. How about that? I would love for you to buy my books. Don't get me wrong, okay?
Yes.
But show up and smile. Show up and come and give a person a hug. That's how you show support, by actually showing up. So
Yes.
I would definitely love, to make connections. Thank you so much, Miss Anita, for having me on the show tonight. This has been amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, I have had an amazing time with you. We did have some emotional, and it has been amazing, but it has been great to know you. Thank you so much for being
Thank
on the show tonight.
thank you.
Um, Listen, y'all, if you want an amazing publisher that you are going to build a bond with, that is going to walk you through the process and make sure that you get your story told correctly, I encourage you to reach out to Miss Stephanie. She is truly amazing. I can't even put it into any more words. You have to experience it to understand what I'm saying.
Thank
So
you.
thank you guys for tuning into the show. Have a great night.
Thank you.